All right. Good morning, everyone. It is lovely 8 in the morning here on the East Coast. Coffee and smoothie in hand. We're gonna do some coding. So, what we've got going on here, if anyone types spawn into chat right now, it will spawn a little dude, and I've added that it adds the name to the little guy that they spawn. Here's my goal for today. We are going to make a canon game. This is going to have, let's start with some steps here. We need a canon scene with a spawn point for the little dude. We need, what else? Yeah, once we need that, once we have that, we'll need the spawning logic, which will theoretically shoot the little dude using apply forces. I think that's the name of the function, but I don't have a whole lot of experience with Godot's physics engine and stuff yet, so that'll be part of today's little experiment. Canon scene, spawning logic. We'll need some targets. The targets will have point values attached to them. They will need a area to detect a little dude. And when contacted, get destroyed and send a signal to update the leaderboard. So what I want to do is during breaks and stuff, I want to have like this little game that people can play and try and rack up points. Because right now what we've got is this, right? And this is fun and hilarious. I really love how this turned out. But I think it would be even more fun and hilarious if the slapstick comedy of this was combined with like a leaderboard and actually having people like generate get points and stuff. This sounds like fun to me. So let's back out here. So we got canon scene, spawning logic, targets. Up here I need to add a new main scene because the current main scene that I have is not going to work because of the way that it does the spawning logic for the other scenes. I've got to make a new one for this one. Once we have targets with point values, we can keep track of users and their points, probably in some sort of dictionary. And finally, we will put users into a top 5 leaderboard bracket. This is probably the most complicated part. I don't think this is going to be hard by any stretch of the imagination, but this leaderboard bracket I think is going to be the most complicated thing. And I might be over complicating things in my brain, but to me it sounds kind of funky, so we'll see. All right, put users in the top 5 leaderboard. So we'll need a UI scene for this. Sorting by amount of points. This will need a dictionary with user and points pairs. We'll need to check for users and update their points, and we will need to add new users if they aren't already there. Alright, the cannon scene's gonna move back and forth. The targets are also going to move back and forth. Essentially. I have an idea for how I want to do this. Yep, and I think that is about it. So, let's get started top down. Hop into Godot here. Which we are still running, so I'm gonna turn off that game for now. You can actually see how that message system is working down here with the username and then the message. So it's fairly simple, and message is just there to essentially not allow people to spawn if they type anything else. That's really all there is to that. So let's start with a new scene. No, that's not what I wanted. New scene, 3D scene. This is going to be cannon. I'll cannon root for the fun of it. Save. And then scenes. I made the mistake of not organizing my scenes and stuff, and then I went to organize them today, and a bunch of stuff broke. So make sure you organize as you're going. Hey, is this Godot? Yes, this is Godot. Welcome to it. Okay. So let's hop into the 3D viewport. Let's make a mesh. Because this thing doesn't need to collide with anything. And I'm gonna be using entirely placeholder meshes for today. Today is just getting the logic in place. It'll look something like that. Wonderful. And we're going to need, underneath this, we will also need a point? What do they call that? Let's see. Let's just explore a little bit here. I have one in one of my other scenes, so maybe it'd be faster if I just go and check what it is. Let's see. Main. Here we go. Oh, it's literally just the 3D root. Good. Node. And we're gonna take this and move it down here, maybe out here. I'm gonna try and have everything facing toward -Z, so that things stay consistent whenever I put them all together. This is going to be the spawn point. This whole thing is going to need an animation, not a tree. Whoops. Cut that. Name this cannon, and we'll add an animation player. Cannon. Animator. Please ignore my inconsistent naming conventions. I am built for speed, not for consistency. Cannon animator. Save. And here's what we need to do. Add a new animation. Back and forth. We're gonna add a 3D position to the root. And this scene will also have its own camera. So that's how I've built all of these other scenes with their own cameras in them, just for sake of simplicity. So this camera is already facing toward -Z. Gotta love it. Let's add another viewport. Check out what that camera looks like. Oops. That almost looks a little long. Less FOV. There we go. I like that. Now, over the course of, say, 4 seconds, this thing is going to move from... Oh, that was foolish. I need one more route. The camera does not have to be a part of this. So let's parent, make scene root. Yeah, there we go. And then the camera goes there so that it's not being controlled by the animation player. Now then, Canon goes from show me the camera's perspective. Here to wow, what's happening? Delete those keys because I clearly messed up somewhere. Do. Am I going crazy? Might be going crazy. Position 000. Yeah, it's not updating the position for some reason. Oh, that's because I'm editing the Canon. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Got it. Got it. So let's reset. Transform. No, not that one. Okay, this is the one that I wanted to edit. So dumb. There we go. Now it works. And let's get this looping. Except I kind of want it to... Yeah. Okay. So we'll actually just make this... It'll be simpler to make this 8 seconds. And... copy this key and paste it over here. Retconning your code already. Yeah, I'm being fed a taste of my own medicine, I guess. There we go. Oh, it's wonderful. It's lovely. So the main purpose of that is just to move the spawn point back and forth. Spawn point for little dude, move back and forth. Wow, we are on a roll. Okay. So, now that we have this, let me check my other main scenes to see if there were any other things that needed to be added. light, I guess, would be nice. Lighting the scene's actually going to be a little complicated because the other ones are a lot smaller, whereas this one takes place over a much larger space. So I'm gonna need to think about that a little bit. But for now, we can move on to figuring out the main scene. Oh, whoops, hold on. I broke something. Foolish. Okay. So figuring out the main scene. This scene. I'm not too worried about the name of the whole scene being not congruent with that. So the way that this works right now, I need to wrap my head around how I'm going to make this function. Is this main scene? This main scene is what gets called when the game controller creates a new scene. So if I run this and I switch over to my Tetra Bumper, you can see how this works. I've got these buttons, these really simple buttons up here. Each one calls one of my, either the spinning blade scene or the ramp location scene. If I click on this, it then adds this to the global variables, which becomes what the game spawns, right? I can type whatever I want here, and it is the text for the scene, and if I hit start, it will launch the ramp location. And what's going on there is the main scene is being loaded by the game controller, and then the new scene is the scene that I chose, which is this one right here. It instantiates it, and then it adds it as a child to the main. And so basically what I need to do is have a new main scene, and depending on which scene I wanted, whether it be like ramp location or this new canon game, it decides which main it wants to spawn. So that should be fairly simple. So we say, you can indent all of this and say if scene equals, and I will put these here. Or, and this is not perfect because the thing is, if I add stuff later, this is not going to be correct. But this gets me close, I think. And colon. If scene equals res, blah, 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 yep, so that should work. So else var main equals preload, and I've got to make a new main scene. So we'll leave that there for now to make a new scene. Oh my gosh, my cat. Oh, my cat, go away. Main for canon. And the purpose of this main scene is it has the world event, or the world environment, which gives it this look, basically. The garbage collector, which collects the tetras as they fall to their death. And then some random spawn points. Obviously, and it also controls the spawn logic of the tetras themselves and a couple other things. So, for this new main scene, what we're going to want is a script, obviously. We're going to give it a copy of this garbage collector. We're going to give it a... Let's give it an... Let's give it that world environment, but I want the exact one. Which is, apparently not easy to do. Let's do it this way for now. It might be good to have them as separate instances. But this all should be the same because they're not unique to the scene, so... That's fine. So we got the garbage collector, we've got a world environment. The only other thing that this had was the spawn points, which we don't need. Now, this main scene needs the logic for spawning Tetra. So, we'll copy this wait timer and this random spawn. What this is doing is, oh, and we'll need the spawn Tetra also. I'll go ahead and grab spawn Tetra with name as well. Alright, so what this is doing, I'll fix that in a second, don't worry about it. Is on ready. When the game is ready, we are going to start the random spawn. This waits a certain amount of time and then spawns a Tetra, and then it runs the wait timer. The wait timer waits a random amount of time between 1 and 2 seconds, and then it does another random spawn, just back and forth like that forever. That way there's some Tetris being spawned and stuff, even when people aren't typing spawn, so that it doesn't look lonely in here. Now, what's this all about? Did I copy this wrong? Oh, okay. Simple. That should fix that, and random spawn equals spawn position dot pick random. So we don't need this anymore. We actually need, what we need is the cannon root spawn point. So the easiest way to do that would be to have the spawn point add its own location to the global variables script, which is this guy. This guy is accessible to everyone in the game, and so we can say global var cannon spawn point. And that's all you really need, except I can go ahead and declare that it is a what is it? What do they call those things? Properties. Vector 3. That's what they call them. Can you tell I haven't done this much recently? So we know that's a vector 3 now. And so we can go back to spawn point. And say function process. To every frame, we're going to update the global variables dot cannon. If I save this, it'll actually update. Save all scenes. Cannon spawn point equals self dot global position. There we go. Shaking off that dust. I don't think you need the self either. I think global position should work. So now every frame, the spawn point's going to be updating the global variables with its position. So then we we need to update this a little bit. So let's get rid of this and we'll leave that there for a second. Wait, let me go back. Spawn position dot pick random. In the original main, the spawn position was actually pointing to these nodes. So we might need to change how I'm doing this here a little bit, because I'm spawning, each Tetra is actually spawning as a child of that node. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do that. So perhaps what I could do is just say tetra.global position equals global variables dot canon spawn point, and then you just add the child to the main itself without adding it to anything else. That might work. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll also need to apply a force to this Tetra. Probably in this... No. The question is, do I apply it to the Tetra... Yeah, it would probably be easier to apply it to the Tetra in its own script, but I need to make sure that I don't apply forces anytime I'm not in the canon game, which is pretty simple. So, when the UI, when the button clicks desired scene, what I can do is add the desired scene current scene is going to be text. It's going to be a string. Current scene. Go back to what am I looking for? UI. So on button pressed, we're going to update the global variables dot desired. Save this real fast. Current scene. That's what I wrote it as. Equals desired scene. And then in Tetra, we can simply say if global variables dot desired or current scene equals so it would be a reference to the canon root scene. So we'll copy that path. We'll add it right there. Get your colon. Yeah, so if the current scene is the canon root, then we will just say apply forces. I'll just put that there. Simon is, oh yeah. Fine. Function apply forces. I actually don't know much about applying forces, so let's do the smart thing and read the docs real fast. Docs. Let's see here. Forces. Integrate forces. Physical bone, rigid body. This is what I want. Allowing you to read and safely modify the simulation state of an object. By default, it's called for the standard. No, yeah, add constant force. As a constant positioned force to the body, keeps being applied over time until cleared with constant force equals 0. Position is the offset from the body origin in global coordinates. Applies a positioned force to the body. A force is time dependent and meant to be applied every physics update. Okay, so what we'll probably do is we'll need to use apply force with the vector 3 pointed toward the negative z. And 0, 0, 0 would be the center point. However, if we look at, we can see that the center point of Tetramore is actually way up here. And I did that for reasons. But what we can do is actually center it on the body, which is at, well, actually we can just center it on this thing, which is at this. So that's fairly simple. The value, we'll just copy this real fast, go back to the script, and I'll just paste, nope, that was backwards. Paste that there for a second. Oh, no, okay. Fine. So this isn't, I think this needs to be in process. So I'm going to get rid of this real fast. Let's pass this for now. Oh, it's not going to have it because I'm not extending a rigid body. So technically, I would need to add a new script to one of these guys now, which is fine. And that actually helps me to keep things a little bit more separate. So we'll add it here, tetra body, that's fine. So now I should be able to go function. Physics process. Apply central force or just force. We'll see what happens. But the one call, so we'll point it toward negative z, which is, I believe, 0, 0. Negative, I don't know, 5. There's no way to know how strong that needs to be until I test it. We're at 30. What am I doing? Vector 3. I gotta actually put vector 3, that's why. 0, 0, and negative 30, or something like that. Okay. We'll put var canon bool equals false. The head will simply tell the body dot canon equal true. And that should be fine. The only other thing then would be to say if canon equals true. I'll write it the correct way. If canon. Then you apply forces. Now I'm pretty sure that this is going to make this thing fly forever, and it's never going to stop. I guess I don't know that for certain, but at this point, I think it would probably be wise to go ahead and get the functionality to actually start this so that we can start testing things. So, what am I looking for? Game controller. Let's actually just run like this. Yeah, okay. We'll pass this real fast. Let's run something else to make sure I didn't break everything. Yeah, everything seems okay so far. Cool, works. All right, so far so good. I don't know that I did anything right, but I didn't do anything wrong, so that's okay. Oh, I didn't show you all. It was working. That's the point that you need to know. Wonderful. Now let's get this set up to where I can actually get into that. So I've got this dictionary. Well, actually, no, it's just an array that contains all of the references to the scenes. Again, this would be way easier. This should be better, but I am an idiot. So string. I want to copy this path. There we go. And that should update the buttons. Yep, so that's now a button that I can use. If I switch over to my Tetra bumper, you can see that. I've got that button in there now. Back to Godot. So, main equals preload. And what I want here is main for canon. Dot instantiate. We'll add that child main. What's the problem? Instantiate, not found in base. That's weird. Oh, wrong thing. That's why. It's the GD, not the scene. There we go. Wonderful. We got the child. We add a new scene. Load scene dot instantiate and main dot add child new scene. Okay, let's see what happens if we try to load the canon root. Okay, it's working. Sort of. I mean, we got into it. So it's not breaking. That's good. Dr. K says, "Hey Tetramore, how do you write the script for your videos? I've been wanting to make essays but struggle to write things down when I got the doc open. Was wondering if you had any advice." If you emailed me, I intended on getting back to you, but I didn't have time this morning. If you didn't email me, and I will send you a thorough response. But my basic sort of my basic response to that is just to rigorously outline. Okay, so what this is telling me is that I need to add a script to the cannon route, which starts the animation on ready. And then we need to figure out why the Tetra is appearing in the sky and not... Oh, I think I know why. It's because Tetra, in his scene, is up here. I'm kicking myself for doing that now. Maybe it would be easier at this point just to fix it. To be clear, Doctor, my email is in the channel description here on YouTube. Okay. So I think I just need to fix this. I just need to fix this nonsense. Because this is just going to make things more complicated the further we go. Let's just fix this. And I know that this is going to break things, so let's save the scene. We'll go back into one of the other versions and figure out how exactly it breaks. So spinning blade, I think the problem is that it's going to be spawning too close. Yeah, they're going to spawn like right underneath the edge of the screen, basically. They don't have any time to build up energy. Okay. So, all I really need to do is move the spawn points from here up a little bit. I just need to move these spawn points up. About 7 or so. That should mean that it is now spawning. They should be spawning exactly where Tetramore would have been if he was still up in the air like he was before. Yeah, that looks better. Now they got a little momentum going into the thing. Check it with the ramp. Yeah, that looks about right. Wonderful. Okie doke, smoke. Cool. Okay, so the cannon needs a script. Cannon root. Cannon root will get a script, and really the only function of this should be to function ready and dot animation start play. There we go. I knew I'd get there eventually. And it needs that. Yeah. Great. Cool. Let's try that again. Yay. It moves back and forth. It does the thing. Tetramore looks like he's still spawning, like, in the air for some reason. So, let's check out the... Let's move the... I don't really want to move the camera. I like where the camera is, but I want to scroll back so that I can see what's going on a little bit better. You know what? I'll fix the camera later. Let's take the camera way back here, and maybe that'll illuminate us to what's going on. Why is he spawning way back there? Okay, maybe... Let's see. Why would he be spawning way back there? So it's got to have something to do with the main for canon spawn logic, I'm sure. Tetra.global position equals global variables.canon spawn point. So the canon spawn point. Let's print on each spawn. We will print the canon spawn point. Let's see what it says. Interesting. So it's not printing anything. Which means that main for canon is not getting instantiated. The game controller, main for canon, is the one that I want to instantiate. Maybe this logic isn't working. Let me end the game real fast. So, we want the cannon. Let's see what happens. I choose the cannon, I hit start. It doesn't print you want the cannon, which means that logic isn't working. Interesting. So spinning blade, or if scene equals spinning blade or ramp location. Print scene. Interesting. Maybe I need to... I've had weird problems with elf, or else and elif and stuff. If scene equals... Let's see if that does what I want it to do. No, it doesn't. Huh. What if I'm making an if? I'm sure there's something really stupid simple with why it's doing it this way and not the way that you would think. So it's entering this this if statement. The question is, why exactly? If the scene, but you can see that it's printing something that isn't this. So why is it entering this if statement? Am I crazy? Let's break this. Oh. That breakpoint didn't even do anything. There we go. Okay. So we should see things working here. It's gonna clear out the UI. Step over, step into. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. Let's get out of this. That is interesting. Okay, let's put a breakpoint there. I'm gonna try the cannon route. Start. Okay. Scene equals cannon route. Despite that, it's still gonna print this. It still wants to print this. And it does. Maybe it's this ore that's messing it up. The ore should work, though. There's no reason why the ore shouldn't work. Okay, what if... I mean, I could say something simple like if it does not equal cannon root. Which, it's also interesting that I'm... Cannon root... No, yeah, that's right. That's right. That could be why it's not... I've got the wrong scene here, because I actually need the cannon root scene in order for this to be correct. This should be the cannon root scene, not the main for cannon. This is the main for cannon, but this is the cannon root. Let's try this again. This time it should break here and then skip over. Yeah, no, it's still wanting to not skip over. No, wait, no, that's correct. That is correct. Now it should not skip over because, or it should, because I'm going to pick cannon root. That is going to be what the scene is. It should skip. Yes, okay. So if the scene, great, okay. You want the cannon, wonderful. Okay, we're going to actually get to the cannon this time. Let's break this. Load up the game. Let's see what happens when I load up the cannon, and it breaks. Because I didn't take off the breakpoint. Continue. It works. He's not, he doesn't have as much force being applied to him as I thought he would. And that, there could be a good reason for that. Let's see. So, main, preload, new scene, we add the child. So the main for cannon is what's taking care of the spawn logic. So, we need to add, at what point do we tell the scene what the current scene is? That should be the game controller doing that. But I don't know that I... No, it's the UI that tells it to do that. Current scene equals desired scene. So that should be working already. So... let's go to Tetrahead. Oh, wrong scene, sorry. Let's go to the Tetrahead. If global variables.current scene equals desired scene, that should be the cannon root. That should be right. Body.cannon equals true. So let's put a breakpoint here and see if this ever runs. Okay, it ran. And since we are, I should be able to step forward and it'll actually apply the force. So it is working. To some degree. Maybe it just needs more force. Get your head, let's go to the body. Let's apply 500, I don't know. Let's try something crazy. Breakpoints. There we go. He's kind of flying off into the distance. Let's apply just a little bit of upward force as well. So no, that would need to be positive. So we'll say 50. And we'll go ahead and move the camera back in. Go here. Let's see. Cannon root. What am I looking for? Yeah, cannon root. Move the camera back into where it belongs. And we'll run it again. We'll see what that looks like. Okay. Yep. It's a little something. Cool. Okay, let's go back to Obsidian and recollect ourselves. Main scene's done. Spawning logic. Apply forces is technically done. However, let's fine-tune this a bit. Move back and forth. Targets are moving back and forth. They need, or actually, we don't have targets yet. Wonderful. So, let's see about fine-tuning our nonsense here. I'm not sure what these messages are saying. They're not crashing the game, so I'm not too worried about them for now. Okay. So I would really like if the force was applied one time. Let's read a little bit more about force. Is that impulse? Applies a positioned impulse to the body. An impulse is time dependent and independent. Applying an impulse every frame would result in a frame rate independent force. For this reason, it should only be used when simulating one-time impacts. Okay. So actually this is what I want. So, because I don't want it to be constant. I want it to be one big shoot, like it's being shot out of a cannon, basically. So and that also means that I don't want to do this every frame. So let's comment all of this out. Save function, ready. Return void. What am I doing? Needs an arrow. If cannon, we are going to shoot. Why not? Shoot. No. Apply impulse. The impulse will be a vector 3, and we'll say that it's got a 0, 50, negative 500. Don't forget your colon. Yeah. So that's not working. An impulse is time independent. Position is the offset from the body origin and global coordinates. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Impulse. Applying an impulse every frame. Use the force functions otherwise. Only use simulating one-time impacts. A frame would result in a frame rate dependent force, right? Which means that you don't want to call it every frame, which means you don't want it in process, right? So maybe we just see something here. Function, physics, integrated forces. Maybe this is what I want. Apply impulse 0, 10, negative 100, something like that. Expected closing grouping expression. I didn't write that clear again. Rookie mistake. Yeah, so this doesn't exist anymore. Let's look at this real fast. Called during physics processing, allowing you to read and safely modify the simulation state of the object. By default, it is called before the standard force integration. Well, let's just see what happens. Pass out of this. If can. Should be fun. Yay, it works. Wow. So I have a strong feeling that this is not correct. Because I think this is frame dependent, unless I'm crazy. Changing the 3D transform, if you need to directly affect the body, prefer integrated forces, as it allows you to directly access the physics state. Let's turn this down to like 50. It's still super fast. And I'm not sure if it's frame dependent or not. Turning it down to like 10. Okay. The fact that they're not coming back down means to me that it is always, it's constantly applying this. So, let's do a little strategic Googling here. How to use... Oh, hold on. YouTube page. There we go. Okay. Music's working. Now. How to use apply. What was it called again? Impulse. Force is something that's constant. The impulse is something impulsive. A single push. There's no more add force, apply force. Yeah. How does apply impulse work on rigid body 2D? What does this person call apply impulse? Not that I really trust this person's code or anything, but I don't even see apply impulse in this. Am I going crazy? It's not weird. This is really appropriate music for what I'm doing right now. Create a new scene, one of the rigid bodies, class name, example name, rigid body 3D, class name, ball, function throw, apply central force. Okay, so I guess maybe there was a reason why it didn't work when it was in its own function. And it could have something to do with the fact that it's in a cannon, or that it was wrapped in the if statement. I don't know. Let's just try applying impulse in the ready statement. Comment this out. I'm not going to worry about the cannon bull for now. Hey, that looked like it worked. Okay, it works. That's how it's supposed to be done. So let's try 300 or something. Yeah, I mean, basically. Try 50 on the y-axis. I kind of wanted to arch up a little bit more than that. And I'm going to want to remove the fog from this scene. It's not going to look right. Okay. So that works. All right. So first of all, I want to remove the fog from this scene. So let's make this environment variable local to scene so that I can change it without changing the other one. Volumetric fog, disable. And it looks great. It looks wonderful. I need to change the color also, because it's too dark. We'll just make it something like this for now. Let's actually do something like that. Okay, so that should allow the cannon. Yep. It works. Oh man. And oh, I wonder if they're being shot out of the range of the. No, they're not. They're still getting garbage collected. That's fine. So if I hit spawn, it should spawn one with my name attached to it. Eventually. Oh, wait, no. I might not have set that up yet. No, alternatively, it's not receiving messages. Okay, so the spawn thing isn't working at the moment. Should probably figure out why that is first. Game controller script. No. Main for cannon is what handles that. Oh, I think I know why. Yep, that's why. So I didn't actually connect the main for cannon scene to the signal bus, the message received signal. That should fix that. And I'll put this in there also. I know, I don't need it. Never mind. Okay, let's retest this to make sure that that is working now. And there I am. Wonderful. This is silly. My smoothie has turned into the thickest smoothie I've ever seen. Okay. So, let's save everything just for the fun of it. And let's see. Let's go back to Obsidian real fast. This is fine-tuned. This is good now. So now we need targets. Back to Godot. We need targets. So thinking about spawning these, probably what I'll have is we'll make a new scene. We'll have one new scene for each, like, point value, because they're gonna have different, like, colors and stuff. So we'll say target and the point value. We'll start with 10. Save that. Go into scene. That's fine. 3D. We'll put in a mesh instance. The mesh will be do a torus for now, just for the funny of it. I don't know. Pivot it up toward -Z. We will put in a collision shape. No, I need an area 3D, not a collision shape. No, yeah, I do need a collision shape. So I actually need this to be a rigid. What kind of bodies do I have access to? I need to remind myself. Static. No, not static. Animatable. Because I want it to be able to affect other bodies in its path. So we'll use an animatable body 3D, put this collision shape here. We'll give the collision shape a shape of box. Make the box roughly the correct size. This part doesn't matter too much. This will be target, and will be target collider. Target mesh. And we will add another area 3D. This will be to detect when a Tetramore enters its area. So this guy will have a I'm working on a rival to GUT as we speak. I don't know what is GUT? Sounds like fun though. Collision shape. We'll also give this a box. This one we will move forward. Toward the -Z, and this is going to be the shape that the Tetra will collide with. The only problem that I think this is going to have is this is going to be too small. This is going to be much too small, I think. And if I try to scale this up, it's going to start yelling at me, I think. Maybe not. Oh, maybe not. I thought it would start yelling at me because of these collision shapes being scaled. Well, that's okay then. As long as it's As long as the game doesn't care about that, then we will scale up like so. Godot unit test. It's a plugin for testing your code. Oh, neat. I like Godot a lot. Not that I have a whole lot of experience. I picked Godot because I knew Python, and I wouldn't have to learn a new language, basically. And it worked out. Whatever. That's probably big enough. And the 10-point target's going to actually be a lot bigger than the others. So we'll make it like that or something. Safe scene, and then we will need an animator. Animation layer. New animation, we will say motion. Yeah, this is probably fine. I'll just do it this way. Add a track, 3D position, target 10. We'll give it No, you know what? I'm gonna do this programmatically. Let's add a script. Target 10. Function, ready, void, pass, and let's do a function animate. Void. So what I want to do is use, what do they call those in Godot? Let's see. Animate. What am I thinking of? I've used them before, but I don't remember what they're called. Would not be any of these. Mesh. So what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Tweens. Yeah, I need a tween. That's what I need. Let's open this up. Let's just get this open so that because I don't know, I'm probably gonna need to reference this. Tween var tween equals tween dot new, something to that effect. I think that's how that works. Let's just read real fast. What's my goal? My goal is go back here. I'm making a canon game for people to play on stream, like during breaks and stuff. And so I've got a lot of the logic for like spawning dudes and attaching people's names to them. It connects to a script that's based off of Doug's Twitch chat play stuff. What I'm adding right now is targets and things, so it'll have point values, keep track of, and then the user will have points that will allocate, and then the top 5 will be listed in a leaderboard eventually. Just as something to do in between, because I like to have interactive elements to these streams and stuff. I think it's kind of fun. So, tween property, tween equals get tree.create tween. We'll use that. Tween property, position. Yeah, okay, got it. It's starting to come back to me. Get tree.create tween. Tween dot tween property. Object will be target 10. Property will be position, except it needs to be a string. I think. Object, property node, path. Yeah, that should work. I don't know why it's not. Maybe it needs to be like global position or something. Well, we'll see what happens. Vector 3 final position would be something like what axis am I moving on here? X. So something like I don't know, we'll say 300. Over the course of... Actually, this would be a good time to have a random... So rand I range from... we'll say like 5 to 10 seconds. So this thing should, yeah, it should move to that position over the course of 5 to 10 seconds, randomly chosen. Okay. We'll have the main scene, or do I want that to be the cannon route? No, it should be the main scene. So we'll have the main 4 cannon scene spawn targets at random. That's the basic goal. So let's add a new something here. Target spawn. I'll just basically copy this. Just copy all of this. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. And we'll have function, target, spawn, well, void, we will var target equals reload. Okay. So probably what I'll do is, I need to... For now, I'll just do it this way. I'll need to have a way to randomize which target it chooses, but for now, we'll do it this way. Target... what am I looking at? Add child. Okay. That should be enough to get us to the point where we can make sure that that's working. So let's go back here. Load up cannon route. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it because they would actually technically be spawning behind the camera in that case. Or somewhere near it. Okay, so they should be flying toward negative Z, so they're flying toward negative Z. They're flying in this direction, so I need to move. So I actually want these guys to be facing positive Z then. Oh, wrong direction. And we'll just put this way out here for a second. Nope, not yet. Why not? Target spawn timer. Oh, because I didn't add the target spawn to. That should be enough to fix that. Crashed. Invalid type and function add child in base node 3D. The object derived class is of argument 1. Packed scene is not a subclass. I didn't instantiate, that's why. Instantiate. Yay, it's a target. It didn't start moving though. Let's figure out why. Because I don't animate on raid. Easy enough. Yeah. It kind of works. I wonder why it almost looks like it's moving toward the camera. That's strange. Maybe it's a field of view thing. Could be. Let's take a look at camera here. Maybe it's got like a really narrow. Huh. Okay. But the targets need to be way closer. Way closer. Oh, that's... Oh, okay, yeah. So they are moving. They actually are moving closer to the camera. And the reason is because they're tweening toward 0 on the Z axis, which means that they actually are moving closer to the camera. So what I'll probably do there is just instead of having these written as 0, I will say global position dot y and global position dot z, which should mean that they won't move toward the camera anymore. Because they're moving toward the point of origin. Yeah, now they're moving actually perpendicular to the camera. Okay, Tetra's moving way too far. Now that I've got a little bit of scale here. Tetra is way too far. It's funnier that way, but it's not going to be like playable in any stretch of the imagination. So set this to like 100 and we'll like take that to like a tenth of what it was and see how that looks. That's not far enough. I'm using 50 and negative 200. Yeet or more, exactly. Okay, that looks pretty good. That actually looks closer. Okay, wonderful. Thanks for the suggestion on picking a random path to load. I'll consider that once I get to that point. Okay, what time is it? That's a little after 9:30. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back in just a minute. Enjoy the dulcet tones of Night in the Woods music, and spawn some dudes if you want. Well, except for the fact that the spawning doesn't seem to be working anymore. Why? Okay, so main... What broke? Why would that have broken? Oh, they're way over there. Oh, I didn't wrap the forces. That's why. The forces need to not go if we're not at the cannon, which is what this is for. If cannon, apply them. There we go. That should work now. Hello. Welcome back. I think this, I think the Legal Woes song from Pizza Sim is good enough reason to come back. Okay. So, let's go back to Obsidian for a second. See where we're at. Move back and forth. Got that. Kind of. So, here's the other thing. I need to just fine tune a little bit their positioning before I move on, I think. So, targets. First of all, we can move them much closer to the origin point, I think. 45 is probably much more reasonable. And we will start them somewhere over here or something. Because I want them to move, like, from left to right, basically. Yeah, so now you got a bunch of targets that kind of move at different rates. That looks pretty good. They need to destroy themselves after a bit, which is fairly simple. I could just make it really easy and add another collision shape to the garbage collector. Way over here somewhere. And double check the code would actually work. Body.getParent.keep free. So yeah, so that should delete anything that enters it. So how far away did I put that? I don't know if it's far away enough. 40 meters in that direction. We'll put it 100 meters in that direction. That'll probably be fine. And I want one on the other side too, because some targets are going to move the other direction. Okay, that should be okay. I mean, as long as yeah, that should work. I'm not too worried about it. Cool. So we've got this guy. 10-point target. 10-point can actually move a little bit closer still. We need to connect some signals. I just had a thought. Body.getParent. So if it sees animatable body, it'll get the parent. Yeah, so that's right. That works. The reason it's written that way is because that's how I was clearing out the Tetra, because Tetra is made up of like 4 different bodies. So regardless of what body enters it, it will clear the parent instead. It'll clear the whole thing. So that's why I did it that way. So that'll work for this too. That is just fine. Now, back to this guy. We can add point. I'll go in the order that is in Obsidian. We will add point values. point value equals 10. We'll also want to go ahead and get the signals connected so that when I duplicate everything will just carry over and I don't have to redo it a bunch. There are much better ways to do something like this, but since it's a fairly simple project, I'm not too worried about it. So, area entered, no, we'll want body entered. Detector, body entered. And we will want one for the target as well. Yeah, no, that's fine. Just the one is perfectly fine. So, one thing I know I'm going to want to do real fast is add tetrahead to a group. Add to group, tetra. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I can gut check myself a little bit here. So, if body dot is get parent dot is in group tetra, then we will let's see. I've got to think about the best way to do this. Maybe the best thing to do would be to call a function on the body's parent itself that sends the information, because the tetra should have its own name information, which is this text variable. So when it enters the detector of the target here, the body, we can call a function on the body that sends out a signal with the body's text. How does it get the point value? I could request the point value as a function, or a property of the function. So function, we'll say add see ya, travel size lines. Appreciate the advice. We'll add points. Void. We are going to so it's going to request points. And we will pass for now. Body dot add points. Save this. This isn't correct. Add points with the point value as the argument. Then the tetrahead script will send the current value of the text and the point value. If text does not equal that. Because if it does, that means that it's one that was randomly generated and not generated by a user, and I don't want to keep track of those. Although it would be kind of funny, I guess. But So if text does not equal that, that means that we have a user on our hands, and what we will do is we will send a signal on the signal bus that we'll call this add points to user dot emit with the arguments of text and points. That would be the point value of the target it just hit plus the text of the username. Go to the signal script. We will add that signal in. Where's my signal script? Add points to user. Oh, I didn't type signal right. Add points to user. Username and points value. Now, let's see. Probably I've got to decide what is going to be keeping track of the usernames and the points. So it'll probably just be its own node somewhere, maybe in this scene. Yeah, so we'll add a new node. We'll call this, or should it should probably just be in the global variable so that it can be accessed. And we'll try it there for now. Global variables. User dict. Be a dictionary. So, function ready. We need to allow this global variable script to connect to the signal bus dot add user points. No, I didn't save it, that's why. That always gets me. Save all global variables. Add point to user. I think that should be points. Put your head. Add points. We'll make it points because that'll probably confuse me forever. Add points to user. Dot connect. And the method will, the function will be something called update user dict. Function update user dict. And it's going to take the user and the points. Again, I should definitely just go ahead and add an S to all. Actually, I did in the first one, so glad I checked that. User points. Return void. And we will, if user not in user dict dot keys, we will add or user dict dot add or get or add. Ooh, what is that? That sounds interesting. Get or add. Get or add. It didn't pull it up. Get or add on dictionary. There we go. Gets a value and ensures the key is set. If the key exists in the dictionary, this behaves like get. Otherwise, the default value is inserted into the dictionary and returned. Okay. I do need to rewrite that to be, let's see, global variables. If user dict dot has user, if not, so if it doesn't have it, we will I need to figure out what the function is to add something to the dictionary. No doubt this is a merge? No. Add entries from dictionary to this dictionary. No. Merged. Okay. I'll just do a quick Google search real fast. Add add key value pair to dictionary. Go. Add a key to an existing dictionary. Access it like an existing key, and assign it to add integer for. Whoa, what the heck? Why is this all wonky? That's weird. What does Reddit say? So I can just set a key to a value, and it'll initialize that key even if it didn't exist before. I had to confirm this because the documentation has this description for the bracket operator, which can be quite misleading in my opinion. Returns the corresponding value for any key in the dictionary. So it's something to the effect of wait, what? Confusion. How to add a new key to an existing dictionary. Add a key to an existing dictionary. Access it like an existing key and assign to it. Points dict equals that. Points dict blue, which isn't in there, equals 150. Okay, got it. So what we do is we say user dict dot, or user dict user equals points. So if, and then if the user already exists in the dictionary, I could have just written else, but whatever. I'll fix it, whatever. Else user dict user equals can I say plus equals points? Does that work? So then it takes the current points and adds it to that user. So that should work. Okay, now the question becomes, can we test this? So probably what I'll want to do is just put like the target right here for now, so that as soon as it shoots out of the cannon, it'll pretty much guaranteed to hit. And I will, for the time being, turn off the tweening. And that way there's no chance that I miss, and I can just test it working or not. So on the global variables, what I'm going to do, oh, I'm not showing my Godot screen, my bad. On the global variables, what I'm going to do here is print user date so that we can see what's going on. Theoretically, this should do something. Canon root, canon root, canon root. Impulse didn't work. Why not? Hit your head. The body. Apply impulse. If canon. So canon's not being set to true for some reason. What are we doing here? Making a canon game that people can play on my stream by typing spawn into chat. It's going to have targets and points and a leaderboard. It's for like breaks and stuff, because I like having interactive elements. So it's just a fun little thing to do on breaks and before the stream starts. Right now, what I'm trying to do is make sure that the impulse is working, and it's not right now. The question being, why? Thanks, cheese sauce. Welcome to the club. Okay. Oh. Okay, so we hit the breakpoint. But I'm not sure what, body.canon should be true now. So let's go to, let's keep going for now. We'll set a new breakpoint, global variables. We'll go to, no, I want body. Canon is not on. Canon is not being set on properly. It's still false. I mean, clearly, obviously, but why is the question. Well, here's a good question. Why am I bothering setting it from the root node when I could just be setting it internally? Or checking internally for it. Something like that. Can you code me a full game version of Kingdom Hearts 4? Yeah, I'll get right on that. Maybe this coming weekend, maybe? It crashed. But it worked. Oh, this should be body.get parent. That's why that didn't work. Because I already added that function, but body.get parent dot add points. That should work now. This is bouncing off of it. That's really funny. I don't know what I expected. but that is kind of funny. I mean, that torus shape makes it look like it should bounce. Okay. It's not crashing anymore, so that's nice. The question is the signal being sent? Because it didn't print anything. It didn't print anything correctly anyway. What is this print? I need to get rid of that. So let's search print. Search in... Find print. I'm gonna search all of my files. Yeah, I mean, no, that's not. Find print. I can get rid of this now. I don't need it. This is all relevant. User dictionary. Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't need to worry about that. So now the tetrahead should be emitting something. So let's put a breakpoint here. See what happens. It broke. Good. Oh, of course it's not, because it's not. There's no user. Duh. I coded something and it was working, and now it's throwing me off. Hey, it works. So the only problem right now, as you can see in my output, is that it is adding a lot more than just 10 points per hit. And the reason that is because while the body is in the area, it's adding once per frame, basically. Really, something to that effect. And so on detector body entered, I actually want to Q3 the target. I want to get rid of it. So each target can only get hit once. And that should effectively mean that the target can only be good for 1 point value. Yes, that's working exactly correctly now. As you can see in the well, no, not quite. Yeah, no, it is. 1. Whoa. Okay, it's not exactly right. I can't queue free until I've done this. I could set point value to 0 after doing that, so that it can only run this one time and then it's done. Let's try that. Let's see how that does. Okay, that's basically working. It's a little funky, but that's the thing, is that I guess I will be changing part of this, because I want to add some juice later. I want like the target to explode, basically, and the Tetramore to kind of stop moving and kind of pop up into the air, something like that. So we'll figure out how to make that work later. Just getting the basics in place. Okay, so going back to Obsidian. We've got point values. We've got area to detect little dude. We've got destroy, send signal to update the leaderboard. That works. Keep track of users and their points. The dictionary works. Check for users and update their points. Add new users that aren't already there. That works. Put users into a top 5 leaderboard bracket. This is going to be the part that is a little funky, I think. And maybe it's easier than I think. I hope so, but we'll see. So what this is going to require is a new UI scene. So let's make a new UI, user interface. We'll name this Canon Leaderboard. Canon Leaderboard. I'll keep it consistent with my naming convention, I guess. And we can... Let's see. What do I need? I need to go to 2D and take a look at what I'm looking at. I believe what I want is a V-box inside of a scroll. Actually, no, just a V-box. We'll just start with a V-box. Make it like something like this. Put it somewhere in the middle of the screen. So probably... Let me write down what I'm thinking here. So, sorting by amount of points. What we'll probably need is the global variables, when it updates the user dictionary. Send a signal to update UI. Send a signal to update UI with dict as argument. UI will sort, or will find the top 5 values and print the key. Yeah, we'll say print the key value pairs. 5 text boxes with NV box container with the key value pairs as their string. So that way it'll update whenever somebody gets more points. If there's no change, then it shouldn't change, but if there is a change, it will change the order, theoretically. I'm seeing right here that this container has a method called sort children. So that actually might be a lot easier than I thought. Let's look into sort children. Sort children. Emitted when sorting the children is needed. Emitted when children are going to be sorted. Q sort. Q resort of the contained children. Q resort of the contained children. Is that a word? This is called automatically anyway, but can be called upon request. Okay. Notification just before children are going to be sorted in case there's something to be processed beforehand. Base class for all GUI containers. A container automatically arranges its child controls in a certain way. This class can be inherited to make custom container types. Okay, so the question is, how would I sort them? Inspector. Layout. Let's search for sort. Ordering. Let's see. If true, this and the child canvas item nodes with a higher Y position are rendered in front of nodes with a lower Y position. Oh, no. That's not. That's not really what I'm looking for. Well. So the way that I was thinking about doing it was just making a new rich text label, or there will be 5 rich text labels basically. And I don't guess these needed to be programmatically introduced technically. They can just be sitting there all the time, but just empty until there is something to put in them. Rich. We got 5 spots. They are organized vertically. Use Futura because I like Futura. Oh, right, no, that's not what I want. Fonts. Size? No. Font size. Something like that, I guess. Let me just, now that I've got this set, I can actually just recopy these. Okay. So theoretically, this leaderboard container could edit each of these anytime the dictionary gets updated. So let's go back to our script here, global variables. When we update the user dict, we will also signal bus dot update leaderboard dot emit with the user dict as a argument. In the signal bus, we will add that signal script. Update leaderboard with the user as an argument. And finally, for the leaderboard container is probably the easiest place to have this work. So ready, we will signal bus dot update leaderboard dot connect, and we will point that to a function called update UI. Function update UI. User dict void pass. What am I doing? Okay, so this is where it gets a little hazy. So this should be fairly simple. The question now becomes, how do I get this? So let's actually also do something like at on ready var spot 1 equals spot 1. I know there's a way to make multiple like cursors so that I could do this faster, but I can't remember what it is right now. Oh, alt click. Wonderful. 2, 3. I'm breaking everything. Okay, let's just see if we can get this to look like something. Hypo. Okay, it's updating. Global variables is receiving, as you can see, because it's still printing the dictionary, but this is not printing. And that would be because it would be because this UI is not instantiated. That's why. Main for canon. We will. I'm never going to have this without the UI, so I might as well just instantiate it straight onto it. I need to save it. Main for canon. Main for canon. Main for canon. Canon leaderboard. There we go. Now it's instantiated. Now it should actually do something. Yep, it's working. Okay, great. Great. Wonderful. We're close. We're very close. All that's left to do now is sort. Sort through the dictionary. Figure out which spot, what value goes where. Okay, so for user or key in user dictionary. Let's see. What I could do, and I might be overcomplicating this due to a lack of knowledge. I could make an array of the values, because I know I can sort arrays easily. So what we'll do is we'll say var sorting array equals I don't think that does what I wanted to do. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I can never remember how stuff like this works. Find key getrad has all array keys. Array values. This is what I want. Returns a list of values in this dictionary. Yes, so that's what I want. So we'll go back to UI. Values should be what it is. Yeah. Okay. So it returns an array. We'll store that in sorting array. Var sorting array dot sort. How does sort work? Sorts the array in ascending order. The final order is dependent on the less than comparison between elements. The sorting algorithm uses not stable. This means the equivalent elements such as 2 and 2.0 may have their order changed when calling sort. Okay, that's not. I'm not worried about that. So it's sorted. It's sorted in ascending order, which is actually the opposite of what I want. Function is called as many times as necessary, receiving 2 array elements as arguments. The function should return true if the first element should be moved behind the second one, otherwise it should return false. It may also be necessary to use this method to sort strings by natural order. Oh, you can just call sort and then call reverse. That works. I'm glad I looked through that before I wrote something really complicated. The sorting array dot sort dot reverse. Then cannot get return value to call sort because it returns void. Array dot reverse. Cannot get return. Okay, whatever. It's gone. Sort reverse. So now it should be in descending order, and then so I'm thinking for child in get children. For child in get children. Child dot text yeah, it's a root property, so this should work. Child dot text equals Sorting array 1. No, it starts at 0. It would be user dict. Oh, okay. This is blowing my brain a little bit here. So we'll say string user dict sorting array 0. Ooh, okay. I know what I'm trying to do here, but the syntax is just throwing me off. What I want to do is say, you know, I've sorted the array. Now I need to recombine the array with the dictionary, basically. And so the array has a value. I'm trying to, that aligns with a key in the user dictionary. I'm trying to reuse that sorting array to connect back to the key. So the string would be the key, which is the user, plus whatever the sorting array is also. Okay, I know that this isn't going to work exactly the way that I need it to, but I would like to see if this does what I'm looking for, essentially. Yeah. What is the problem? Invalid access to property or key 10 on a base object of type dictionary. Invalid access to property or key 10. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get the value instead of the key, because it was trying to find a key that doesn't exist. White will return 50. Points will be assigned the value that is paired with the appropriate color selected in my color. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Find key. This is probably what I'm looking for. Finds and returns the first key whose associated value is equal to value, or null if it's not found. Null is also a valid key. Yeah. Okay, so find key is what I'm looking for. User dict dot find key. And so instead of writing this, write that there, delete that. Maybe? Let's run it. Let's figure it out. The only way to figure out is to test. It crashed again. Invalid operands nil and string in operator plus. I wrapped the whole thing in a string, but that's not correct, but it's fine. We're in the troubleshooting phase. Null 10, null 10. Okay. So it's doing something. It's updating correctly. Is that a remix of Enter the Darkness? No. This song is from Spyro. It might be Sunny Villa. I think it's Sunny Villa. It's in the third game for sure. Okay, so this is technically working. Find key. So the problem is that the user dictionary is returning a null key for this value. And why would that be? Why would that be returning a null key? So let's put a breakpoint here. Tetra 10. Yeah. And the array has one with a, yeah. Why is it not finding it, I wonder? It's still finding null, which is very strange. As you can see. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this isn't exactly working the way I thought it would. But also this is not done yet, truly. So what I'll go ahead and change this. So variable I equals 0. And I. And we will say I plus equals 1. So that should mean that instead of printing the same one for every single entry, it's printing something different. The only problem is that the array isn't big enough. The array is not big enough. Because I only want to do this 5 times, which this accomplishes. But if the array isn't 5, if we'll say if if sorting array I look at arrays real fast. No, what? Array, let's see. So probably max? Returns the maximum value contained in the array. No, that's not what. Yeah, that should actually work. So if sorting array dot I does not equal null, then it'll continue, and if not, it'll basically break. Because it just won't keep going at that point. So this should work, at least not to crash. And it still crashed. Valid access index of 1. I know, it's what I'm checking for. Invalid access of index 1 on base object of type array. Yeah. Well, that's because there is no access, or there is no index 1. Maybe instead of doing this, we do, how do I returns, amount? No. Okay, I think a Google is in order here. Wrong page. How to find number of indices in array. Go down. Size. Oh, I just kept overlooking it. It's size. Okay. Returns the number of elements in the array. Okay, so instead of doing this, we say if I is greater than sorting array dot size. So say actually if less than. If I less than sorting array dot size. That should fix the crashing at the very least. Yes, and it looks like it's working because Tetra is at the top like he should be, because he's the best. And then if I spawn one, interesting. It's adding. What on earth? Huh. That is interesting. Okay. Back to Godot. I think. Why is it... Let's see, what happens now if I try to hit it? No, it's still updating. Okay. I wonder if that's because this is not technically a user dictionary yet. Because when I first receive it... Let me see, where do I first receive it at? I receive it in the UDB client. I have to parse the... result JSON. I have to parse the string. So maybe the problem is that I'm actually not storing this as a dictionary yet. That should be fairly simple. Global variables. User dictionary is a dictionary. Well, I mean, it is a dictionary. Why isn't it reading like one? User dictionary.find key, where it should return the relevant key. Finds and returns the first key whose associated value is equal to value, or null if it's not found. Null is also a valid key. If inside the dictionary, find key may give misleading results. If inside the dictionary, find key may give misleading results. Returns the corresponding value for the given key in the dictionary. If the key does not exist, returns default. Returns the list of keys. Merged. Okay. So we're doing, let me just remove this string concatenator. And I just want to see what happens when I test it like this. It crashes. Invalid operands, nil and operator. So we've got to figure out why this is returning nil. Because it's getting the user dictionary. It sees it. It's right there. It gets it. And it knows it's a dictionary because I can check the debug. It's right there. It knows it's a dictionary. Let's try some various printing things. I'll print the sorting array. Ri equals 0 for child and get children if I is less than the sorting array size. The problem with this obviously is that you can't concatenate a nil and a string, or what did it say? Nil and array. What? Huh. User dictionary, which we've got Petra and 10. Find key, I equals 0 at this point, but it should equal 10. No, yeah, that's correct. Because okay, so what I need to do is print This is how I can test what's going on here. I can print sorting array. Whoops, undo that. Insert sort plus sorting array. Post sort, string sorting array. Okay, so we'll see what's happening. Oh, didn't even get that far. Attempt to call function instantiate on base null instance on a null instance. Why? There we go. That was weird. Did I just do it too fast? Okay. So obviously pre-sort and post-sort are the same. But I should, or sorting array I should be equal to 10, and it is. But it's returning as a, okay, it's returning as an array. That's why. So if I just make this a string instead, it should work. Or rather, actually should make this a, can I make this a val? No, what am I looking for? Val, no, I'm looking for an int. Yeah. So if I say int, that should work. And it crashed again. Why? Non-existent int constructor. Let me just put that down here for a second. So int from string. Well, actually, the problem, yes, so actually I need to do int string sorting array I. That should give me what I want. Let's hope so. Yes. Look at that. Okay. Problem 2. I can fix pretty simply. Is instead of... Well, no. Wait, no, that should be working. So let's see what happens when we populate this with a couple different options here. We got me getting on the board. Let's get me from the stream getting on the board. And it crashed. So once again, bizarrely, it didn't like that. Is it because they were the same value? Let's see. I'll get Tetra really high in score. Something like that. Okay. And then spawn you. Nope. That's not how you spawn. Who wrote this code? That is bizarre. Invalid operands nil and string, and I get why that's happening. It's because it's finding nil again, but child.text equals user dict find key integer string sorting array. So this, it finds the first one fine, but then it doesn't find the second one, even though the second one is there. Maybe that's fine. No, still doing it. Which currently I is equal to 0. So it's on the next pass that it can't find based on the string for some reason. It sees them, I mean... Ooh. This is starting to get a little funky. Yeah, I knew this was going to be the difficult part. I've got to be making this more complicated than it needs to be. Spawn, sorting array, sorting array, sorting array, user dict, sorting array, child text. Valid operands nil and string. I wish I knew why it wasn't able to find... I mean, could it be because these two are equal? Well, no, I already tested that. Pretty much confirmed that's not the case. So now he's got like 20 points. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if they're equal. Interesting. On the first pass, it crashes. That is so interesting. And these are integers, right? What if I remove... Well, no. What if I remove the integer? What if I just make it a string? Can it find it then? No, it cannot. Interesting. It's able to find it the first time, but not the second time. Let's see what my prints... Maybe my prints are telling me something that I'm not paying attention to. And it should be. Whoa, what happened? Oh, I know what happened. Spawn. Come on. I gotta hit a target at some point. There we go. What are my outputs telling me? Why would that be Wow, that is bizarre. Why would that be returning nil? So it should be searching for 20. And what it's going to find is tetra. This is aggressive music for what's happening right now. Oh man. Okay. There's gotta be a good reason for this. So, let's do some Googling. Okay, so Godot dictionary find the returning nil. Dictionary inside dictionary returning null. Always returns null. Collections are dictionary. Try key method to return value or null. No. Why is my function returning null or nil? Getting nil key error despite key not being nil. There are too many weird links to explain for right now, but I'm trying to check out whether or not an entry in combine dict with the name of the item, blah blah blah. Oh, so maybe I'm writing the dictionary wrong. Maybe I've been writing the dictionary wrong the whole time. Apparently dictionaries are not supposed to be written like that. They are written... Let's go to global variables. User dict, user... If not user dict.has user, where is the user dict constructed? It's here, right? Yeah, user dict is a dictionary here. I'm not even constructing it. It's just doing it that way. No, that is right. That's not it. Okay, back to Googling. Hmm. Where do you define the dictionary and the variables? Is it GDScript or C#? Yeah, so how am I defining it? What am I doing here? Let's go back to you. Yeah, so it gets the user dictionary from the signal. So there should be no problem with this not running until the signal is connected, and it passes the user dictionary with it. So, and I know that it's not, because I can hover over this and it's correct. It looks good. Sorting array is 10 and 20. Or 20 and 10. It sorts it. For child, if I is less than sorting array.size, which should be 2, no, 1, technically. Returns the number of elements in the array. Attempts empty arrays. Child.text equals. I mean, I know if I turn this into a string, it's just going to be a string. I shouldn't have to do this. And if I do this, it's going to be inevitably nil. But we'll see if it crashes at least. Man, did I not hit a single one of those targets? That was crazy. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. It's not working. The heck? That's so weird. Well, that 10 would be you, Trevor, but this isn't functioning. Interesting. So why is it sorting array, string sorting array, I? It's almost like it's an array within an array for some reason. Let's try, I'm just curious. I'm gonna try changing this to X, because I know sometimes I can be like a built-in something or other. And sometimes it's dumb things like that. It's probably not, though. Nope, that's not it. Okay. It's acting, so this for some reason, despite the fact that this should be giving me this index, is acting like it wants me to print the entire array here instead of just this index. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why this is a problem, is because for some reason that's not working. So sorting array is still an array, right? Pretty sure. So let's go to array. To get a copy of an array that can be modified independently of the original, use duplicate. I might need to keep that in mind. Elements are accessed by a numerical index starting at 0. Yep. Negative indices are used to count back. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's the weird thing, is that it's kind of acting, hi Newt, it's kind of acting like the sorting array. Let me get it to crash again. Actually, it won't crash with it set up this way. So let me delete this. Now, if someone in chat hits one, boom, it crashes. Good. Okay. Sorting array. See, that looks odd to me. It looks like an array within an array. It's not adding. Sorting array equals user dictionary.values. What if I, no, this should return an array. Oh, okay, this is stupid. All right. If there are any budding programmers, these brackets, so this returns an array. This bracket says, put this array in an array. And so that's why it's not functioning. That, I think, should fix it. Let's figure out. Yeah, okay, there we go. That fixed it. So there's some logistical stuff, like the fact that despite the fact that the second person that hit was Tetra more, it was showing Tetra twice because the keys and the values were equal to each other, and so it just did the first one that I found, I think. But now it actually is functioning. That's such a dumb mistake to make, but it works now, so it's fine. All right, and if we go back to our Obsidian, we will see UI scene is done, sorting by amount of points. When user dictionary updates into signal, UI will find the top value. This should be working. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. 5 text boxes, and okay, so everything is basically working. There's just some logistical things that need to be ironed out, like making sure that there's no duplicate keys, or rather there can be duplicate keys, but I need to not print the duplicate keys into these boxes. I would also like to not show the text unless it is actually got a user. I need to reformat the text a little bit here. But other than that, this is basically working. It just needs some juice. Mostly just needs juice and to be fixed properly. Yeah, now that they're not equal, they actually won't, it'll update properly until they become equal, probably. Let's see. It just shot over. I'm not sure. It works. Okay. Got a lot of work to do before it's like effectively functional, but this was fun. All right, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for hanging out, everyone that hung out, and I hope you have a wonderful morning and afternoon, and I'll see you whenever I see you again. I don't know when the next stream will be. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. There will definitely be a post if it's tomorrow. So, goodbye.